we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna bypass anything we got to vote on right now. We one more to have a quorum, but we got one more person on the way. So, if y'all don't mind, we're gonna go ahead and let Mr. Aaron Dawson with the Federal Highway, Alabama Division funding to, speak with us for a few minutes.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, everyone. And if I haven't been introduced to you or met you before, my name is Aaron Dawson. I'm the Planning and Program Management Team Lead for the Alabama Division of Federal Highway Administration. I am the planner that's assigned to your MPO. I have not been great about visiting as much as I'd like, but that's going to change. So we've gotten staffed up, fortunately, and we've got more opportunities to get on the road and come out and talk with y'all. So I'm really pleased to be here. I'm also here about a very unique opportunity. Federal Highway Administration in general has a unique, this is the first time I've seen it in my career, situation with the new transportation legislation that's come out. We have a unique situation with about how much money we have to spend, okay? And I'm going to kind of walk through this from the national perspective, the Alabama perspective, and then maybe what your MPO can take advantage of here, okay? So from the national perspective, we do, when we do federal funding, you need two things to spend it, right? You need allocation, which is your bank balance, right? You see the sheet, how much money does the MPO have to spend, right? So you have a bank balance, we call that an allocation. And then the other thing is called obligation authority. And that is the ability to write a check against those funds, okay? So I'm not coming with new money. I don't have new allocation for you. I cannot increase your bank balance, what I would call it. But what we do have nationwide is a glut of obligation authority, or the ability to spend what you've already got on the books, okay? So just to give you a picture of what the situation is and why we're here and why we're asking our partners to take a look at what maybe they can do to help us, to take a look at in a typical year before the bill, we would have between $1 and $2 billion nationwide of excess obligation authority. And we would ask states, hey, can you use this? And the big ones usually take most of the pot. Your California, your Texas, your Florida, your New York, right? Illinois, right? All the bigger programs can absorb that and spend that money up. Normally that August redistribution is $1 to $2 billion. This year we're estimating it's about $8 billion nationwide. So it's definitely something that's kind of outside of what we're used to. It's outside of what the August redistribution process was kind of built for. But it is a unique opportunity, right? So that's why we're going out to our planning partners and saying, hey, we have a unique situation where we might be able to either accelerate your projects, right? You can spend everything you've got on the books, and we can guarantee that it's going to be there at the end of the year, right? Or maybe perhaps develop some new projects based on money that you haven't spent in the past. Like to focus on accelerating projects first if we can. So statewide, I believe last year, Alabama took on 70 to 80 million in August redistribution. I can't remember the number. I think it was 70 million. And the state took it all, to my knowledge, and they used it and they spent their balances down to zero, essentially, on their national highway funds and their STBG or their STP funds. They spent them all to zero, which is great. That's great. That's more projects for the state. This year, obviously, they're not going to be able to do that. Our headquarters has asked us to take $253 million in August redistribution this year. That is likely impossible. I don't think that we have enough money on the books to be able to press that forward. And then when we talk about this, there are other considerations like it takes time to develop a federal aid project, How fast can we deliver these things? Where's the match coming from? Which is a huge concern for a lot of smaller communities, right? So we understand the challenges that are coming with it. And the reason I'm here today is to kind of brief you on this situation, answer any questions that you might have, and kind of check on the status. And I spoke with staff for the meeting, just to kind of get a picture of what's going on at the MPO. So, and this is a little bit old, so forgive me if these numbers are a little bit off, but at the beginning of this year, this MPO had about 5.7 million unobligated and unplanned funds in their allocation. That's just rollover from years prior. After speaking with staff, it looks like there's going to be project overruns that are going to eat into that. That's great. Let them go. I mean, that's more obligation authority that y'all can take. And that there may be new projects, right? The reason that we're here now is because while this situation is happening this fiscal year, we're not sure how long it's going to last. I am guessing that next year we're going to be in a similar situation, which gives the MPO more time to kind of accelerate projects and work on and deliver bigger projects or faster projects. But I want to make sure that we take advantage of this while this opportunity is here. I mean, we might be able to pull 26s into 25, 27s into 25. We might be able to accelerate a lot of different projects. And I know that that's a challenge, but our division leadership in my office has authorized us to do whatever we can do to help y'all deliver projects. So if you've got something that's stuck, give me a call. I'll give you my card when this meeting's over. If you've got concerns or you're scoping a project, but you're not sure if it's going to be a good federal aid project, talk to the MPO staff or give me a call. Whatever we got to do to deliver this funding, I want to do it because I'm not 100% on this, but we're in a glut of obligation authority right now. I think as we get towards the end of this legislation package, the rubber band's going to snap back the other way. And you're not going to be able to spend any of those carryover funds. They're going to give you 95% obligation authority to your allocation, and that's it. There won't be any August redistribution because it's all going to snap back the other way. The reason that this happened from a nationwide perspective is the introduction of all these discretionary grants that DOT has. All the obligation authority that came with them, but we weren't putting them out for the first 2 years. That's why it's all stacking up. So it's an unusual situation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I know this is a little bit confusing sometimes, but I'll turn it over to you and see what you got.
What Aaron's kind of talking about is our balance for future years.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 6 projects on the MPO side right now as we speak. We're about to talk about adding another one that would take that obligation balance down some, but it won't be authorized this year, so it's not going to help with that. We do have some projects that's on the books now that's non-authorized, that's not counting against that money also. But we also have some projects that's going to overrun a good bit, that's going to eat that money up.
Yep.
Accelerating these projects, it's kind of hard for where we're at in the process, because if we add projects, it's going to take a little while to get them engineered and get them authorized.
Sure.
But, there was a point in time in this MPO, and I'll just go back, we had one project on the books, it was on the books for many years, 20, throughout my whole career.
My goodness.
And we were saving, it was a construction project, very, very expensive for a small MPO. But it was on the books, each phase was done, we had to move forward with that project. And the MPOs, this one and past MPOs did. We should be closed down on that now. They approved about $1 million overrun on that project. But that money built up and we started adding projects probably about 5 or 6 years ago. They're adding smaller projects, intersections, line resurfacing. Even though they were smaller projects, that cost a lot.
Sure.
Decatur just got done with a rehab project that was very expensive. Morgan County's got a project now that the utility budget is right here. We're gonna have to increase it because it's way up. So that balance, we're working on that balance, but we got some projects that are not there yet to count in obligation balance.
Yeah.
But for many years, we could not put in projects in the hopper because we actually had 2. City of Hartsville had 1 and we was lucky enough that we basically stopped in after the PE. It was the time of Federal Highway and NDOT let us stop that project, so we got it off our books, but it could have probably been more than one at Decatur finished. It's just very expensive. So it's been this MPOs and previous MPOs to look at small projects to where they can, I guess, get more bang for the buck when they're doing these projects, because we don't get enough money to buy the road.
Right.
In any shape or fashion. We can do rehab and lighting and intersection projects, and we're going to add some projects, but I don't want to add so many projects that we run into the problem like some other MPOs have. We got more projects and we got money, and then I'm having to go explain to an elected official that we got to move their project out because we don't have funding, because we're always having overruns on these projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of those concerns are totally valid. And to be honest, this is federal highway. We're not telling you how to spend your money. We're not telling you what to do. This is just us asking for your help. And to be honest, what I'm concerned about is that snapback at the end of this bipartisan infrastructure law. Because if somebody's saving up right now, they're making a grave error, right? They're saving up and then they're gonna have this huge carryover balance. We get to the end, there isn't gonna be any obligation authority, and they're gonna be sitting on a pile of money that they can't spend for who knows how long, right? Now, I will say, comparatively, Decatur is doing well. You don't have an outrageous balance. You're still delivering projects. The costs are going up, and that's gonna eat into it even more. I just want to make sure that you're all aware of what the situation is, because what I don't want is, like I said, somebody saving up right now and getting burned later.
Is there any way we could accelerate some of the projects that's on the books now to get them to construction to where once we get them to construction and know where they're at, then we can start adding more projects, because then we'll know where the bottom line is.
Yeah, our division leadership has told us to do absolutely everything we can to accelerate projects. So if you've got one that you're trying to sneak into this year's August redistribution, which you said probably won't happen, and I understand it's getting late in the year, but if we have to do something in our office to get something in under the wire so you can ask for more money, for more obligation authority at the end of the year, we'll do it.
I think we have a few projects that are still in the planning stages that's on the books now. I don't think all of them are authorized already, or some of the phases are still in the plan, so we may be able to kind of can move something forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Part of the problem is that it takes so long through the process. And we can't control the process. We still have to go through your steps and things.
I completely
So
understand.
on one hand,
I completely understand.
you're trying to give us, and on the other hand, we got a process.
I know. You're 100% right. I understand the frustration in that, but what we're hoping to do is make some changes on our end to to make these projects get delivered faster,
That'd be awesome.
right? So, and if we can increase our efficiency and just keep it that way, even after this situation is over, it's better for everybody. So, you know, I'm the sales guy, they're sending me on the road, right? We're gonna do everything we can, you know, that's what I'm here to say, is Federal Highway wants to get this money spent. I don't want anybody getting burned with these huge carryover balances. Because the next time that this rolls around, who knows? And if you're, you know, even if you're working from a region, I don't know what the region carryover balances are. I don't know how that distribution from central to region works. I don't get involved in that, but if you're sitting on a carryover balance, now's the time. Now's the time, so. But I appreciate what you said. Any other questions for me? I will be here for the length of the entire meeting. If y'all have any questions, even after the meeting, or you want to talk to me about a project that you're concerned about, I'd be happy to hear it, okay? So thank you very much for the time to come and speak today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yes, sir.
We'll pick back up, we need a motion to approve the minutes from the November 2nd, 2023 MPO meeting.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is to adopt resolution 2413 to approve the updated targets for transit state of good repair performance measures.
Yeah, these are the transit target improvements, our targets that we approve each year. Whenever the transportation bill come out, and even the one before that, basically required states and MPOs to do performance measures and targets each year. MPO approved a resolution a few years back, and we actually did agreement with the state, that they would do the targets for us, or whatever their targets was in their performance targets and measurements that the MPO approved, and just abide by whatever they came up with. That's what these are, these targets. AlDOT has a consultant that works on all these targets and helps them come up with the targets to make sure that they're doing the targets correctly and they're meeting their goals and objectives. And we approve these each year. We don't have the staff nor the data to do a lot of these targets, so we just do, we can back off AlDOT and what their statewide targets are.
You've heard Ryan's explanation. We have a motion to adopt resolution 2413.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving on to item number 5, adopt resolution 2414 to amend the current transportation improvement program to add the following project: resurfacing on I-65 from 6.6 miles south of State Road 36 to 1.1 miles south of I-565. It looks like it's an increase in cost. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, it's a new project. This project's actually a state project. It's 80% federal, 20% match. I had a description change on that and I corrected it on the resolution. The email that AlDOT sent me, basically had a description that's on the agenda, but the real description in the system, the CMPS system, was resurfacing on I-65 from 0.6 miles south of SR 36 to 1.1 miles south of I-565. So that had been corrected. It's in the resolution. But as I said, this is a state project, state and federal project.
We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
How many total miles is that?
And six,
Half a mile?
No,
No,
south of 36.
that's, yeah, 6 miles south of 36,
Okay.
all the way to 565.
So and it's $250,000?
That's the preliminary.
That's just, I'm like,
You go buy it.
we're overpaid.
We'll add some digits when we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero there.
Couple some more zero.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, I'm sorry. So, motion second, any discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried, or adoption carried. Item number 6, adopt resolution 2415 to amend the current, TID to add the following project. Resurfacing on State Road 24 from County Road 317 to Morgan County line.
This one is not a preliminary engineer project. This one's an actually resurfacing project, and it's 80% federal, 20% state, for a total of $4,589,330.33.
We have a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Item number 7, adopt resolution 2416 to amend the current transportation improvement program to add the following project. Resurfacing on State Road 20 from 12th Avenue to 0.5 miles southwest of State Road 3 or US 31, the Norfolk Southern Railroad overpass.
Second.
We have a motion to second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving on. Adopt resolution 2417 to amend the current transportation improvement program to add the following projects. Widen County Road 222 from County Road 550 to Cook Ridgeway Road, and Cook Ridgeway Road from County Road 222 to 0.514 miles south for left and right turn lanes to allow for industrial access, and this is for the solar plant.
Yes, industrial access funding.
All right. Have a motion?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution carries. Item number 9, adopt resolution 2418 to amend the transportation improvement program to add the following projects. Sidewalks and multi-use path from Bethel Street northeast from Morris Street southeast to Bethel Road northeast, phase 1 in the city of Hartsville.
You good with the match?
Yes.
So we,
Second.
Have a motion second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution carries. Adopt resolution 2419 to amend the current transportation improvement program to decrease the estimated construction cost on the following projects. Roadway lighting rehabilitation on US 31 from Market Street to 0.5 miles north of Riverwalk Marina.
All right, on this one, I'm gonna kind of have to be like Lucy, I got a little bit explaining to do on this one.
I have some questions.
Okay. This one, actually, in order for us to do a resolution on the MPO staff side, we get an email from, Aldott that starts the, process. Once that email comes in, it's basically whoever's working on the project, the engineers, they do estimates, and that estimate was at that time decreased $837,140. We already had this on the agenda last week, whenever the project bid. Well, when the project come in over this amount. So basically, we just left it on the agenda. We can approve it at the $837,140 amount and come back and adjust after we figure out the final cost, which the final cost is gonna be over that. But basically what you're approving is basically saying that there's $837,140 in the budget for that project. So all over that, if it comes in over that, if the MPO has any additional funds, the city can ask for them additional funds, and we can come back and do a resolution to add, federal funds to that. But we need a final cost on what that number will be.
so it is, it is.
And a decision has to be made whether to award it or not to award
Yes,
I'm sorry.
what's the word?
it. A decision has to be made to whether to award the project at the current bid or not, to reject it.
Yes,
But this would take some of the money that Aaron's trying to get.
it would, and you know, and I think that, it is taking some of the money, and it's probably gonna take some more of that, money that he just, said, because this project actually can be authorized this fiscal year.
Can we just table this?
Well, it's easier just to approve it and we come back with a new resolution. And I'll figure that out with y'all on how we're gonna, we just gotta get the price, how much we need.
If you're a project holder, then you have to come back and adjust the price and decide to award it.
Which if you decide to award it, that's what he's talking about, if you don't decide to rebid it. So, we can work that out.
So you're ready to go ahead and approve.
And most of the time, if you look on resolutions, I always put estimated costs because we don't know until it's bid. And sometimes they bid before we have an MPO meeting. And this will bid, but, I don't think none of us is expecting it to bid like it did.
So moved.
Motion have a second?
Then, do you have any questions?
No, you answered them. Second.
Okay, motion second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution carried. Item number 11, adopt resolution 2420 to amend the current transportation improvement program to decrease the preliminary engineering costs on the following project. Resurfacing on Bethel Road from Linwood Circle to Kimberly Street, Cave Springs Road from Bethel Road to Sunset Acres Avenue, and Skidmore Road from State Road 67 to Cave Springs Road.
This is an MPO project. Actually, the cost actually for preliminary engineering decreased on this project. So this project should be getting underway before too long also.
Have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion. Second.
Okay, motion second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Item number 12, adopt resolution 2421 to amend the current transportation improvement program to decrease the estimated construction costs on the following projects. Resurfacing on Bethel Road from Linwood Circle to Kimberly Street, Cave Springs Road from Bethel Road to Sunset Acres, and Skidmore Road from State Road 67 to Cave Springs Road.
Yeah, this project's actually an MPO project also, and it's bid, so it's pretty close to where the numbers are gonna be pretty close. We may have to come back in at the next MPO meeting, add a little bit to it, but, it's close in its current form.
Motion.
We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Have a motion second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? I think the only business we might want to discuss, and Dwayne, you kick in here, we're looking at going back to DC to talk to the, representatives and, our representatives and our senator about the census and the change in the census where, we were locked out a part of it, so if you want to add to that?
Yeah, we're trying to get a meeting set up and actually, Senator Brett's, staff set the meeting up for us to go and talk to the census again. I've been fortunate enough, this is the second time I've had to do this, and, it puts things in motion for 2030 when they do the census to make some corrections to the rules and regulations, because the issue we're having is not gonna go away. I mean, because we got a refuge right in the middle of everything, and we're built out around that. In future growth, we're gonna have the same thing unless they put some, rules and guidelines in that, refuge or how we get across to tie to these other communities. So we'll be doing that hopefully, in the next month or so.
We had good meetings with them in November, they were very receptive to what we talked about, and basically it would affect our funding. The lower amount of funding would be helpful.
Yeah, it'll fix your funding whenever the rules and regulations, and they changed some rules this time to where they're going by housing units instead of population. And they changed some distance regulations in there. So I think we can explain how it affected us. And it only affected us, it affected some other communities in the state of Alabama, and I'm pretty sure across the nation also.
On that one ago, I'm gonna bring up that DDI, out there. So I'm gonna ask for you guys to help support me on that. If we can't talk to Congressman Strong and Katie, some help.
Yeah, just to add to what you were saying, Dwayne, some MPOs lost their status as MPOs because of the new methodology.
They did, and And it's like when we went up there in 2005, you know, the criteria had changed from 2000 to 2010. And as we get more advanced technology wise, it's helped.
Sure.
But yet again, is when they start lessening the distance requirements, it hurts, because you can't pull in extra areas. It actually adds to the traffic in the urbanized area because, and, you know, we can't help it if we got a refuge.
Yeah, the whole system and the way that works, unfortunately, federal highway is completely removed from it. Our regulations state we accept 100% the results of the census. They are 100% control of how they, you know, determine what's an urbanized area.
Yeah, they let us know that when we went up in 2005.
Yeah,
Probably will be
yeah.
honest.
I know that there may have been pushback from federal highway to the Census Bureau. Only because, you know, we're looking at growing, not eliminating MPOs, really. But, we just don't really have much authority over that whole process, unfortunately. So I wish you the best. I hope that they're receptive.
Curtis, do you have anything you'd like to speak on? Or any of your staff?
I can tell you the Rod's gonna go over some projects that you like.
Thanks, sir.
All right, so, starting with projects, funded through the MPO, Hartsel's got the Long Ridge Road intersection for US 31. Plans are finished, I think there's one tracker right away left to get cleared up, and that one will be ready to take bids on. Hopefully that'll let, later this fiscal year. And we talked very at length about the causeway lighting project that the city had let locally last week, and so some decisions about how to move forward with that project in regards to awarding the bid or making some changes and rebidding possible. Next project is a Morgan County project on West Morgan Road to replace the culvert over Baker's Creek. Talked to Greg Bowley earlier, they're still working on their right of way, got 2 or 3 tracks to deal with, and it sounds like, with what they're dealing with on those, it might end up being this project would move out into next fiscal year, probably later in the fiscal year with the utility work that would need to be done. And then the intersection improvements at State Route 36 and Lando King Road. That project's plan is approximately 30% complete, working toward getting the materials reports finished so we can move toward the 65% review to progress that project. And I think there's about 9 tracks of right of way associated with that project. And so it would probably be later next fiscal year, based on normal process that one would be ready. Moving into the A-Trip 2 projects that have been awarded in the area. Hartsel's finishing up the first project, the lighting's up. I think it's just waiting on getting the power connection made. They did have to go back and revisit some of the paving. Looks like they're working on that now. So that one should be substantially complete relatively soon. City of Decatur's got a project on State Route 67 at Upper River Road. Those plans are under development. The city's in the process of acquiring right of way. So that part would pace the letting of that project through state services. And then Trinity has a project on State Route 24 at Greenway Drive. Those project plans are approximately 30% complete. There's no right of way or utilities associated with that project, so that one should progress fairly quickly. Moving into projects that are on state highway systems. Decatur's got a permit type project with some TAP money associated with it here on 6th Avenue to make some improvements. And I think last remaining piece on that is just getting one of the state permits. And I think they're waiting on some of the foundation reports for the poles for the new signals and things like that. So
You think that's the last item?
that's my understanding. Is kind of waiting on the foundation. The ITS project on I-65 starts near the Priceville interchange. It goes up north of Athens. to install message boards, cameras, and some fiber optic lines. We're about 65% complete with the design on that one, and it's still currently scheduled toward the end of this fiscal year. US 31 bridge replacement over Norfolk Southern Railroad there across the river. Plans are approximately 85% complete. We're beginning the right-of-way acquisition phase. We've got about 5 tracks of right-of-way, one of those being from the railroad, so that can sometimes take some time. And we'll have some utility work to do. AT&T is telling us, with their fiber and stuff, it could be up to a year for them to get out of the way. So likely that project wouldn't bid until, sometime, maybe this time next year. We're going to kind of monitor the I-65 rehab project as we progress through that. That's, we're working on that project now. And that could affect whether we let this Tanner project if we feel like that might not be in our best interest due to traffic conditions on the interstate that we might delay that project. The I-65, we have bridge replacement projects there at Lakon over CSX Railroad and Flint Creek. Our plans are approximately 30% complete. We're kind of in a holding pattern, waiting to get nailed down what CSX is going to require of us, which would affect how we complete our final design. Have to get an easement from CSX, and likely that project, the earliest it would be sometime next year. Got a couple of resurfacing projects. We mentioned the one there on 20 here in Decatur is supposed to bid in May. So I see that work starting up sometime toward the end of the summer, possibly early fall. And then the other one was actually in Lawrence County. It's from over near Caddo over the Ward County line on 24. Projects under construction, the I-65 bridge maintenance project. I don't know if you've been out that way. If you kind of look off real quickly, you can see where the contractor has installed a lot of rigging and platforms for them to be under those girders to work on them. They're working on making some structural repairs right now. They plan to start the sandblasting and painting maybe sometime in May. Right now, we haven't had to do anything that really affects traffic during the day. They've done everything with lane closures at night. There is some items of work at some point, I'm not sure where they have it in their schedule, to do some repairs to the decks. That definitely will take us down to one lane for multiple days. And then some of the painting may require us to actually, our plan is to shift traffic. You still have 2 lanes, but with a reduced width. So having a barrier rail on the deck and a reduced width, people tend to want to slow down, should. So that will have an impact on flow of traffic as well. Like I mentioned, the project there in Hartselle already. Hartselle's got a tap project downtown. I think it's about 75% complete. And then the Priceville resurfacing on Bethel, Cave Springs, and Skidmore Roads was bid in February. Rogers Group was a little bigger, and my understanding is I notice perceived an issue, but I think it's in everybody's interest to wait until school's out and start. So should see that project sometime this summer. So I think that's all I had, unless there's something that I missed that somebody's interested in.
And a lot of people are thinking the traffic slowdown on 65 is construction is not correct. I think what we had a couple weeks ago, it seemed like it was every day.
I sat in my office, I can see it, when it stacks up all the way.
Or watch the
Halfway to
camera.
Hartselle. Yeah. No, I don't care for camera, I can see it all different.
There were several spots between Priceville and Hartselle where they were paving potholes.
Yeah, a lot of that was our maintenance activities. The contractors work with us very well to this point on the bridge repairs, and like Rod said, you probably haven't noticed, but if you get under the bridges, there's a whole structure, the length of the bridges hanging from the bridges. And that's what they'll be working off of.
I wouldn't want that done.
I saw that this morning. I think I've seen them on, and I appreciate what they've done so far.
They've done a tremendous amount of work and the public really hasn't seen it because it's underneath, and that's where they'll be majority of the time, so. I think we'll get a good project out of this and they're doing a good job, so.
Thanks, sir. You have anything, Ward One?
No, just one thing, the feasibility bridge study was on the work session agenda Monday night. It's up for approval, Monday. So if the council approves that, we are working on the next phase, to try to secure funding for the next phase of the bridge study.
Anybody else have anything? Garber, everything you'd like to?
No, sir, just glad to be here.
Mark, you have anything you'd like to talk?
I'm good, thank you.
Have a motion to adjourn? Second. All in favor? Thank you all for coming.
When you had over there, over near where they had the plate problem with